With the end of the year coming up upon us, one could ask, what would you say has been the overall energy? Hmm. The message that rings in my spirit about this year as a whole is just change. It really is. But I think that spirit has a lot in the way of change coming in. And when I say that, change is a constant thing. Everything's always changing, but I just mean in very big ways. And I feel that way just with the messages that it's giving me personally. There's a lot that's going on in the world, yes. However, the an understanding that was given to me a long time ago about anything that is going to change in the world for you, it's to focus on your own journey. So, in doing that, focusing on my own journey, I've made a lot of changes for myself. And yes, we're all a collective. So, there's other people that are going through and experiencing a lot of changes, and some of it is just more highlighted than others. But yeah, I think that this year itself has definitely has some interesting changes coming about. And honestly, Spirit has said to me that it's only going to be more on the way. But it's a good thing. I think it's very good for a lot of reasons. Even if it looks scary, sometimes the best change looks like a disruptor, you know? And yeah. So that's how I feel about this year. It's definitely been an interesting one. Actually, me, myself, I got into a really bad car accident. Like my car was totaled, and I made it out. Like the car flipped over and everything. I made it out of that car accident. It happened in like March of this year without a scratch. Well, I mean, I had scratches, bruises, and everything, but there was nothing really wrong with me. Like I. So for me, again, it's just like it's definitely been an interesting year, but I made it out of that accident, even though it was pretty bad. And I'm a small person. You would think that I probably would not have survived it, to be honest. And for me, it was just understanding, well, I clearly still have a purpose of being here. Whatever Spirit's purpose for me, nothing will stop that. So that's how I think about it. But again, that's just me focusing on my own journey and whatever change I'm meant to make in this world. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on though. But I trust that it's all, spirit putting things in its place, however it's meant to be. Even if I don't understand it, and maybe I don't always agree with it. But you just got to trust that spirit knows what it's doing more than we do. Trying. And why me is the second. Uh, well, again, I think, like I said before, we're all a collective when it comes to that. So I think that one of the things that I like to think of is that, chaos and destruction are the other side of creation. You don't just plant the seeds that you want to grow. You have to till the ground and really remove anything out of the way that could get in the way of whatever you're wanting to plant and grow for yourself. So I do think of it as that too. Like this hasn't been an easy year for me at all, but I just think of it as the understanding of, whatever spirit is helping me clear from myself. In that sense, it's not meant to come with me into whatever success or reward or emotionally fulfilling understanding spirit has for me. Yeah. But I understand, yeah, trying. Definitely. And why me? Oh, I've said that a couple of times, especially with the understanding a lot of times that I feel that spirit has placed on my path, you know. But at the end of the day, I really, really think that it's all for a greater purpose. And like I was telling you before, with some of what you were saying, you felt you were experiencing, I'm excited for you to see what does come to fruition from this understanding. Yeah. So it's like they say, there's a lot that there may be a lot that you're going through or a lot of heavy stuff you're experiencing, but at the same time, Spirit is just in that understanding. There's a lot that it will reward you with for all that you've gone through. If you just trust the process, and in its divine timing, which can be very hard. But well, thank you. I really appreciate it. And I, even in saying all of this, I hope you're seeing all of those things in yourself as well. Because again, just like you said, this year has been trying and it's been a lot, and I'm sure it has been. Um, People often don't say those things lightly. You're still here. You're still moving forward. You're still, even in this sense, mirroring back the light that you see in me. You're mirroring that back to me from you. A divine timing. Woo! I was just, yeah, let it cook. Let it cook though. See what it grows into. Oh, yes, it's interesting. Especially when, you understand what's a good I want to think of something to liken to. A lot of times what I like to liken it to is, you know, um Amazon is this big understanding. I don't really like to liken to it now for a lot of reasons, but we're not going to get into that. But like, it's just, it didn't get started off as what it was. It was one understanding. And maybe, the creator saw some understanding of it, but growing into, branching out or growing into something grander or as grand as it is. But I don't think so. I think that this was the understanding. It started in a small way. And, you know, it became this big understanding that this person did not see or know at that time it would become. And that's happened with a lot of businesses and a lot of other things besides business. Business is just the easiest understanding to think about. Some of the greatest business understandings that we see today, they began as like a small little understanding that you would have never dreamed that they would grow into something else, you know? So that goes along with trusting in, the spirit's plan for things and the divine timing. Over time, things change, things grow, things shift, and some of it is also about spirit putting everything in the correct place. And for me on my journey, I don't know if you've ever like heard of quantum leaping timelines or anything of that nature, but for me on my journey, I think that there are people that do that accidentally and don't realize it, and that's why it can take some time for certain things to come to pass for them. But on my journey, I've really, really seen where spirit has, you know, created things that were um, not in existence. Like I started to use different things that were just coming into existence. They were just getting created for myself, business wise, and everything else. And it made sense to why it took so long for me to get to this understanding. I moved so far through my healing process, my growing process, that I'm waiting for this other understanding to be created and built and catch up with me. So it could be a lot of that too, especially when you were speaking about the way of where you were in your journey for your healing process and things of that nature. How powerfully you've done that, the focus that you've had on making sure that you're healed and balanced and everything else having to catch up with you, that speaks to your own power. So yeah, divine timing, but also at the same time, your own quickness to heal and balance out. There may be a lot of other things that are catching up with you. And yeah, sometimes it's like there may not be a step in front of you. It's spirit, designing and creating that next step for you to step onto. And you're waiting on the step that you already have until it does. Hey, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have a question you would like to ask or would like the opportunity to receive a one-on-one session, please check out the links in this video's description to sign up for a free session or submit a question.